So, a couple of things have come up in the last week that kind of connected. Oftentimes, when I'm thinking about these videos and what we need to share, it's connecting the dots in the week and seeing what happened more than once. I'll give you two examples of things that happened this week that I thought tied in together. And specifically, as we're navigating through this process of the boomer generation aging, right? And we have a whole new we have a whole new set of challenges when it comes to what are the things, conversations that we need to be having with family, with friends. What are the things as our parents age and move out of their homes? What are the things we need to be thinking about, or what questions and conversations should we be having in order to make sure that we're prepared, right? That we know what's going on. Because I'll tell you straight up, like, hey, Ma, and I know you watch these. I'm in real estate. I'm a real estate broker. I feel like I do a pretty dang good job as a real estate broker. Now, if I was left in a situation where I felt like the rug had been pulled out from under my eyes because I wasn't asking the right questions or leaning into those questions and making sure that we got ahead of this stuff, I'd feel like I was in no better position than somebody that I encouraged to do one thing that decided not to, and or that didn't know how to get something to the finish line to just cross that last T so that everything is dialed. And that's what comes into these two situations. So the first one, we're navigating through a sale recently, and in the title era, in the title section, and with titles dealing with this process, they said, well, hey, here's what we need to happen because the person and how they deeded this property wasn't deeded that way. And it's like, wait, hold on. I thought the property's in a trust. And she said, well, technically no. And I said, what do you mean technically no? They put the house in the trust. Said, no, they claimed the house in the trust, but they never sent the deed. The deed was never recorded in the trust. And it's like, whoa, okay, so someone pays the money to maybe have a trust put together, but maybe or maybe not, it's that last step that we have to do, that we have to take upon ourselves to then file with a title person, right? And I know when we have, people that we send a title to deed a property or quit claim or whatever they're going to do, it's maybe a few $100, whatever it is, but well worth the money because you know it's being done. And I know personally, from personal experience with my wife and I, and with her family when they passed, things weren't handled correctly. And it's a problem property, and it will always be a problem property until we decide to solve it. And it's not worth solving because the issues are just too much right now, right? And it's like, okay, like what's the worst that's going to happen in this situation? So sometimes the situations are so to the people who have to deal with it after the fact that it's like making sure that we really, as we navigate through, say, trusts or titling properties or really anything real estate related, or when it comes to conveyance of property in the future, holy moly, like that stuff's got to be airtight. The other step is, what does somebody really owe on a property, right? And if you're looking, you've got, let's say, a family home or a property, you can ask a real estate professional for a hookup to get the information on that property. You could pay for it as well for what deeds are outstanding on a particular property. If you've got a property that you're responsible for in the future, and you're like, hey, what's the equity in this house? What are we really talking about here when it comes to what are our options? All those options come from, what's the cost going to be? And hey, can you carry this property, or do you have to sell it, or can you sell it, right? And I think that's something that the question that we need to be asking ourselves as well, is making sure that we're having the conversations around, all right, how did you deed this property, and what loans were pulled out on this property, and when, because there's also a lot of fraud, and it's good for people to know. In my neighborhood, there was a man who passed away. I think I brought this up recently. Man passed away maybe a year and a half ago, and within about 3 months of him passing, some people moved into the house, and we were like, oh, that's odd. And they never really used the front door. They were always going around the back. It was super weird. Come to find out that they were squatters. They saw an article in the newspaper of him passing, and they were putting it out there as if there was nobody to claim his stuff or something. So what ends up happening is these people move in there and they put a deed on the property. So this thing now has been on the market forever. Called the listing agent. I'm like, what the heck's going on with this place? She's like, we're trying to get this. It's basically like a legal battle, trying to get this fraudulent deed removed so they can actually get it sold. That stuff happens. I mean, it's real. We saw it firsthand in that situation, and it's like just making sure that you know what's happening with these properties. And as our parents get there, as they get to the ages, or we're navigating through that and trying to figure it out, really making sure that we have our ducks in a row and are asking the right questions. I hope this is helpful. For me, it was helpful to think about again this week, because it's going to bring up good conversations in my family. And I think I hope it does the same for yours. Thanks for watching. I'll see ya.